I've mentioned before that one useful spiritual concept is to temporarily divide our experience of suffering into two distinct inner sensations. There is the physical experience of suffering, the tight, energetic muddiness, so to speak, in our forehead, our chest, our solar plexus, our gut, or really anywhere else in the body, which is simply a constriction of energy, a blockage to prana or life force, which wants to move up your spine and out of your heart as love, your throat as honesty, your third eye as clear seeing of reality, and your crown as mystical experiences. And then there is the cognitive experience of suffering, the series of stories and self-limiting beliefs which identify a cause and effect to your pain, which used past associations to explain why you feel pain in the body in that given moment, and future projections to give yourself a solution that you can work towards. And all of these mental projections, all of these past associations are predicated on one belief, which is the belief that you are a finite entity limited to the confines of a little shell of flesh, who is cut off from the rest of the world, and therefore mercy to this rat race of scarcity and competition that seems to be a hallmark of human experience. The truth is that the mind is only capable in thinking in terms of the past or the future, of pro and con. The mind is only capable of creating stories. It doesn't really touch at the experiential heart of your experience. And so what happens when you constantly try to circumvent your problems simply through the mind is that you play this game of emotional whack-a-mole, where you feel pain in your body. You identify that pain with a particular story about yourself. You take a series of steps to seemingly overcome that problem. You feel a temporary sense of relief because the problem is solved. And then 5 minutes later, a whole new experience pops up, coupled with the exact same pain, a different set of stories, the same identification with separation, and ultimately the same continuation of that emotional and mental cycle that you've been perpetuating your entire life. The way that we really deal with our suffering is not simply by looking at suffering in terms of the mind, but by going deep into the energetic sensation of the body itself. Because while the mind is only capable of looking at life in terms of past and future, the body lives in the present. The body is your first point of contact with reality. It is an emotional reservoir of every single living experience that you have taken on in this incarnation, and really in past ones when you think about DNA and genetics. And as such, real transmutation, real spiritual work is work which circumvents the mind altogether and goes deep into what it feels like to go into your body and be truly present with it. And that's the true meaning of faith. Most people approach their life through the mind. They approach decision-making through the mind. And they get caught in this endless trap of indecision, where they're constantly trying to weigh the pros and cons of a particular solution, a particular outcome. They're constantly trying to hypotheticalize, that's not a word, but hypotheticalize all of these possible futures that they could experience if they do this or this or this, while meanwhile their body knows the answer the entire time, because their body has been right there with reality the whole time, rather than caught up in the belief of separation, which is really the identifying feature of the mind itself. To make decisions, to process trauma, to take care of yourself, you have to go through the body. And that's what the experience of faith is. The experience of faith is having trust in your body to make decisions, even if those decisions don't necessarily feel immediately rational to the mind, even if those decisions don't gratify the endless cycles of thought which the ego is predicated on, even if those decisions appear scary, like a leap of faith, a leap into darkness. This is why Terence McKenna said that all spirituality really is leaping into the darkness only to find a feather bed at the bottom. Trusting life. And there's a lot of talk in spiritual circles of Satori experiences. Satori is a word coined by the Zen mystics, and all it really means is that when you have a glimpse, an aha moment, a moment of clear seeing where you really, for a second, are stripped away of your ego identification and see yourself as you are. When the screw of ego suddenly loosens, seemingly on its own, that's a Satori experience. A lot of people see that those experiences happen, and they even have experiences like that for themselves, but then they believe that they can manufacture these experiences with enough force, enough effort. They believe that if they become the perfect human, if they solve all of their problems, if they self-improve just enough, that they're going to earn those experiences. They believe that there is a causal relationship between your spiritual practice and your ability to have those experiences. But the truth is that Satori experiences are an involutionary movement, a movement from the divine to the human, the disillusion, if you will, the surrender of the human into the divine. And so the human is not capable of manufacturing those experiences. The human is only capable of opening themselves up to those experiences, of moving outside of the limited confines, the spiritual blinders of the associative mind, and into the deep intuitive trust of the body, the openness of the heart. And we can't create these experiences, but what we can do is create an inner environment which is conducive for these experiences to occur. We can open our hearts deeper and deeper and simply trust life, even if that trust in life isn't necessarily substantiated by a particular experience in our physical body, and allow those experiences to flow naturally into our awareness without trying to force them, without trying to analyze them or create an arbitrary distance between those experiences and ourselves. And the other thing I want to say is that it's really important to take care of the physical body in all of this. There's a lot of talk spiritually about self-limiting beliefs, about the psychological mechanisms of the ego. But really, the ego is not just up here in your brain. The ego is a series of energetic blockages in your body. And so yes, your relationship with sleep, your relationship with diet, your relationship with exercise, all of these things have profound effects on your ability and your willingness, really, to be open and present with yourself. And taking care of the body is just about faith, just about trust. There's all this scientific literature about how you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day, and you need to eat this diet or this diet. You need to sleep 8.5 hours every single night. And it's very complicated. It can be very overwhelming. And it seems like so many of us have lost touch with just the innate intuition, the divine intelligence of our bodies themselves. We go about our day punctuating our life experience with all of these sensual pleasures that we chase. We force ourselves to eat when we're not hungry because we're addicted to the sensation of food on our tongue. We drink when we're not thirsty because we believe that if we don't have 8 glasses of water every day, something's going to happen to us. We sleep until 2 p.m. because even though our body wants to get up, our mind is caught in this cycle of looking at our phone, going back to bed, looking at our phone, going back to bed. And so all that I'm saying here really is that you need to trust your body. You need to listen to your body. You need to allow your body to make decisions throughout your day. And I'm not just talking about like making decisions about how you live your life, but making decisions about just what you do with your time, making decisions about when you drink water, when you eat, when you sleep, who you talk to, how you talk to them. There's nothing that your thinking mind can accomplish on its own. The associative mind, the past, future, pro-con mind, is an excellent servant and a terrible master. And as such, there's nothing you need to do but trust that your body knows what it is doing, because your body is the first point of contact with reality. Your body is the storehouse of separation and of enlightenment. Your body is the spiritual technology which allows you to manifest in this world. Look at your hands, for instance. It was Richard Rudd, I believe, who says that you can really tell if someone is a master just by the way that they're using their hands. When a Zen monk, for instance, makes a cup of tea, there is a real intimacy with it. There is an immediacy with which that monk's hands are engaging with the cup, the heat on the cup, the tea leaves themselves. everything about it becomes this ritual, this incantation for the divine. Even when you put your attention on the hands, there is such an intelligence to it. There is a whole life of their own that they seem to take on. And when you look at your house, when you look at your clothes, when you look at your body, you see that all of it is the product of your hands. Almost everything you've created in your life was created by your hands, created by your body. So trust your body, feel your body, touch your body, fuel your body. Your body is everything. And enlightenment is not really going to be felt through the mind, but it's going to be heard as a sub-acoustic aura in your body, as an opening of your inner ear, as an explosion in your very DNA, which pervades every single microfiber of your experience with an irreversible, profound effect. Suffering. Physical experience, a cognitive story. It's okay to get out of your head. You're safe, I promise.